reported to have been marked with the message "Free Gaza." And Benner warned,
"It is very possible the suspect intends to continue these targeted attacks across the area."
Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, a sell-off is looming. Dow futures down more than 200 points. They celebrated late into the night in Los Angeles after the Dodgers won the World Series.
We love you! Thank you, Dodgers!
Los Angeles beat the New York Yankees 7-6 in Game 5 of the World Series to win the title. There will be a parade tomorrow in L.A. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Lawrence County depends on WDXE News, on the air since 1951. This is The Legend. 105.3, 95.3, WDXE.
Yes, indeed. It's WDXE, and it's time for the Quick Mart Hour. Hey, boys, how are you?
Hey, you're doing good.
I'm doing great.
I got to figure out which one of these is mine, man. It's loud.
Is it loud?
Watch out.
No, that's me.
That's you, ain't it?
That's me. You turned me down.
I'm like, where are these wires going? I'm trying to trace. Oh, I'm over here. I'm number one.
Of course you
There
are.
we go.
There you are.
Is yours loud enough now?
Can you just a little bit more?
A little bit more, yeah.
that's the wrong way.
Oh, wrong way, Jeff.
I'm messing with you over here.
Oh.
I'm like, what? So, Kevin, I had a great idea. I thought, well, I bought a wireless transmitter to go with my wireless headphones, and they worked at home, and I thought, well, that's going to be cool. When I brought it here, there's a delay.
Ooh.
So
that might make some...
as long as I'm not talking, it was okay. So maybe that's what I need to do. Just listen to you guys. It was like watching, you remember the old... those old Chinese movies on TV?
Oh, yeah.
It would be delayed. That's what Jeff was like.
You see his lips moving, and then the sound would come?
Yeah.
I used to watch a lot of those, actually.
Hey, yeah, me too.
The Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, all that stuff.
All that cool stuff.
It'd be
Good
like,
stuff.
Godzilla!
Oh, my gosh. It is the Quick Mart Hour, boys.
Oh, I can't believe it. I forgot about that.
You did? Well, I'll be
No, you didn't.
I forgot about coffee this morning.
Oh,
I was running late.
really? I can't imagine you running late.
I have discovered something about you.
What is that?
You're a forgetful man.
I am.
Was the Halloween have you messed up or something?
No, I got a teenager who really takes time on his hair, if you know what I mean. I'm out in the driveway trying to honk my horn where the neighbors won't hear it, but
Well, how's that work out?
it doesn't work out too good. So I'm like, come on, it's
man,
time
we
to
gotta
go.
Oh, my goodness.
It is kind of funny how the boys get a certain age. They spend as much time trying to get their hair fixed as a girl does.
Yeah, Spencer went from not taking a bath to now he spends about 4 hours on his hair. It's like a complete turnaround.
Oh my God.
Well, let me ask you this: he's finally noticed girls, and he knows that girls like clean boys that smell good?
Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
So he used to spray the Axe spray,
Ooh, yeah.
and I like some of those Axe scents. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
But I said, man, you smell like a locker room. And so he got online and bought him some cologne, and he wears that.
Oh my gosh!
Is it Brute by Fabergé?
No, it was. I tell you, he's got some. So I don't know what it's called, but he's got some. It's called 1 Million, and and the version of it is Elixir, 1 Million Elixir.
Yeah.
And it smells great.
Okay.
It is the best smelling stuff I've smelled in a long time.
Okay.
Had to beat the women off of him now, ain't he?
I guess I don't know,
That's right.
but some people they don't like cologne or perfume. They're allergic to it. I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, my wife doesn't like anything strong.
Some of it is
Okay.
way too strong. I mean, and I won't name names or nothing, but it used to be you could tell when a certain person entered the room.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
like, holy cow! They dumped the whole bottle on them or something.
Well, we got a guy at Quik Mart who's known for his smell. And it's a good smell.
Okay, boy,
and he knows
my next question.
he knows who he is. And
Well, it's one thing if it's a good smell and it's not overpowering, but when it kind of melts the paint on the wall.
Yeah.
no, this doesn't. And in fact, that's where I got I said, man, you got to tell me the cologne you're wearing. And he told me that's why Spencer has that one, the 1 Million Elixir.
Okay,
It's awesome.
I'm going to try to find that 1 million.
Elixir.
How many zeros?
It's spelled out. How many zeros is in there?
Oh, so y'all dressing up for Halloween?
You know, we don't never have any trick-or-treaters.
Well, I know why you don't have trick or treat.
Because they're all on Douglas.
No, because when they come to your house, you won't answer the door. That's what.
You came last year.
I've been to your house.
I don't think I was home.
That's what. Yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
told me.
I wouldn't
I
home
seen the
last
curtain move. You looked up there and seen it was me. And I ain't coming.
Well, I don't have curtains, so I know you're not.
Oh. The blinds.
We
You
can't
looked
even
at the
have.
blinds.
Yeah, I do have blinds.
All right. I know you ain't running around naked with no curtains, blinds, or anything.
No, I don't do that anyway.
What?
Run
Close the
around
curtains?
Yeah.
Okay. You do run around naked though.
No, I don't.
You don't.
In fact, I forgot. I ran out of soap in the shower, and I had some sitting out on the sink top to take in.
In the same bathroom?
Yeah, so I covered up to go get the soap. You know, I don't just.
You scared you go see yourself in the mirror?
But I did realize that I'm at that age where my feet are slick on the bottom.
You might be one of those falling and can't get up in, huh? You need a metal alert.
Don't you hate it when you're in the shower though, and you have to go get something that you forgot or whatever?
Yeah, I forgot a
Got the towel or
Yeah.
something. You know, you're already
Absolutely.
wet. Dadgummit.
Yeah, you got to walk across the floor. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Man, that's hard.
That happens quite often.
Well,
So yeah, Jeff,
But-
you know, I'm just a forgetful guy, and
But what I started to say is that the hour is sponsored by our friends at
That's
Quik
where we-
Mart.
that's where we started at.
Yeah, that's where we started this
That's
conversation.
where
Quick Mart
we
convenience
don't want to
stores.
forget the fact that this hour is brought to you by Quik Mart and
Yes.
all the conveniences that they bring to us when we get our fuel and we get our snacks.
If you're in our listening area in southern Middle Tennessee or northern Alabama, there is no reason why you can't go get a hot biscuit this morning.
That
right.
is right. That is right.
Get a little gas out of the purple pump.
I stopped.
Yeah, they still got it.
I stopped at the number 20.
Number 20 out by the golf course, yeah.
No, number 30.
Number 30 is up by TSC.
There we go. Number 30. Yesterday morning.
Yeah, that's good crew in there, right?
Yeah, great crew. They
Yeah.
were so nice in there. I had to get gas. We were on our way to Nashville yesterday morning after I left the station, and I said, well, let's fill up, and so I used my points. Got 15 cents off, I
Ooh,
think.
look at
Ooh,
you.
Yeah.
And then I got me sausage and cheese, like I get. You know, with no,
Yeah.
I don't get the biscuit because I'm trying to low carb it.
Yeah.
Although you have great biscuits.
They're better with chocolate gravy, I'm telling
Yeah.
you. And number
See?
30's got great chocolate gravy.
See, there we go. So anyway,
In fact, I might get some of that when I leave.
and I tried. I've got a new favorite drink too.
What is that?
It's the Lipton no sugar green tea.
I've tasted those. I can't
I like
acquire
it.
a taste for that.
I like it.
Yeah,
So it's a green tea or?
Yeah, it's kind of a green tea.
Okay.
yeah, and there's several flavors there of that, right?
Yeah, well, there's only this one is like
Okay.
there's two. It's either with sugar or no sugar.
Yeah, I like the with sugar.
I know, but I like I tried not to get that one. But anyway, I got that. It was good.
So, you know, I told you guys about when I went to Vegas, for the first time, for whatever reason, I tasted a Dr. Pepper Zero because I thought it was regular Dr. Pepper because, you know, you're reaching down to a bucket of ice, getting it out. And I really didn't know I wasn't drinking Dr. Pepper. It's the one drink that I've tasted. It doesn't have that diet drink aftertaste. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, as somebody who drinks diet drinks all the time, you get used to it.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't tried the zero. I drink diet Dr. Pepper, but
Yeah, try Dr. Pepper Zero
So-
and see how you like it.
it may taste too sweet then. Huh? If I'm used to not.
No, it's okay.
Oh, it's good.
So,
Good deal. What are we gonna do today,
So we're
buddy?
going to talk about the elections right around the corner, less than a week away for the presidential election, and so we want to talk about the election a little bit. I got some tidbits in front of us today. We're going to get some.
The first day is Tuesday, right?
The only day is Tuesday.
Oh no, you haven't heard?
What?
I got so many because you was in there talking about how many people was early voting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be so crowded. So on Tuesday, the Republicans go and vote, and then on Wednesday they're going to have the Democrats vote on that day.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Nationwide.
Nationwide.
not.
Wednesday, because they're having a delay, so they're going to have free donuts. You got to get there early though to get your free donuts.
You guys are going to be misleading people. That's crazy. In reality, today is the last day in Lawrence County to early vote.
Yeah, I did. I voted this week.
You did?
Me and a bunch of other people voted.
Yeah, so how was the process?
Very smooth, very quick. I was in and out with about, I know it wasn't 100 people, but there's probably a good 20 of us went in at one time. And I went on my lunch break, no problem.
Yeah.
I still had time to go get lunch.
Have you early voted, Jeff?
I have.
Yeah,
Same thing. It was just a line, constant line, but it moved quickly.
Yeah, and what makes it nice is they prepare you before you get up to the registration desk. You know, you got to have your driver's license out. That is the most time-consuming process during voting is somebody finding their ID. And having to dig around in there.
And they have computers there.
Yeah.
Whereas the other folks have the big book.
Yeah, exactly.
The computers are a lot faster.
Yeah, they got to flip you through the book and see if you
flip
got
through
it.
the book, make their mark in the book and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
Make your mark.
Yep.
So the polls are the election office is open today. That's the only place in Lawrence County you can vote early is at the election office, and it is open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So they close at 4 today. So if you're in line by 4, you can vote, but they close at 4. And so far, would you guess how many people have already voted in Lawrence County?
Ooh,
I couldn't guess.
20,000.
So no, that's a pretty good guess, go.
Yeah.
But more than 10,000 people have already voted.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. They've been voting more than 1,000 people a day
Yeah,
down there.
I knew you said it was more than 1,000, so
Yeah.
that's why I was going
Wow.
a little high there.
Wow. I haven't heard actually. I just knew it was a lot.
Yeah, and which is a testament to the folks that work down there. They've got 7 machines open down there, and you know that you can also do property voting down there too. Did you know that?
I thought about that this morning. Yes.
So do you own property inside the city limits, Jeff?
I do actually.
Okay, so you could have said, okay, I want a property vote, and they would have set up they've got a machine set aside up there for property voters.
Yep.
So if like there is a city election also, there's a Lawrenceburg city election. One of the 2 of the council member seats are up.
Right.
Jamie's running unopposed, and then the other one, you got Aaron Story and Darrell Watson running against each other.
Right.
And so you could, if you own property inside the city limits, but you don't reside inside the city limits, you can property vote.
Yeah.
And 2 people can vote on that one piece of property. So if you have one piece of property and you and your wife own that property, you 2 can vote on that property.
I would probably mess it up if I went back and said I want a property vote now because I've already voted. I don't know if that would mess them up or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but I do know it's a separate process.
Well, if it's separate, I bet you can go back and do it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Same way, there's a is there a low I know there's an Etheridge mayor's race.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there is an Etheridge mayor's race.
and I had the ballot, but I can't.
So I don't know.
remember.
I guess you could early vote and say you're. Well, I think don't they know what district you're voting
Oh yeah,
in
yeah. When you give them
vote?
yeah.
They do,
Does
but
that-
if you don't live inside the city limits of Lawrenceburg,
Yeah.
Right,
you're
you're home address.
you're
I
not
guess what I'm
presented
saying though,
with
if
that.
someone that lives in the city of Etheridge and they go to vote, then it's going to pull up that.
Right, yeah, it pulls up what you're voting. So that's what
But-
they did in mine. What been yours too? Had me listed as because I looked and when he punched it in, it had me as Salem Church of Christ is where I voted at.
Yep, yep.
And so that's my ballot was what the if you go to Salem Church of Christ, that's what you're going to see. So
Yeah, well, mine would have been West End.
yeah,
So do you vote at Salem?
yeah.
Yeah,
I vote where you have your reunion at.
Yeah, we do. No, just hang around and wait on us. We'll be there eventually. So
Yeah, because Christmas and Thanksgiving will be here before you know it.
yeah, and we do Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and I think that's it.
Oh, you don't do Halloween?
No, we don't. So
All right.
have you been through Richardson Acres and out that way and seen all the Halloween stuff?
I have not.
There's a place on the way, just right by Salem Church out there in the
Oh,
corner
yeah,
of the
you know,
road.
yeah.
on
That
Granddaddy
guy,
Road.
he usually does it up big. Got the
Oh,
big
yeah, he does
skeletons
it
and
up
all that
big.
stuff.
I think it's got like a maze that the kids can, and I think there's a big TV screen. You want to sit there and watch a scary movie, you can sit in the guy's front yard and watch a scary movie. I don't know that, but it's what it looks like.
What are you doing at your house?
There's nothing at my house, so. Well, I'm telling you, it's like there's a invisible line. Everybody's on Douglas, and
They are over there now, yeah.
You know what we did?
What'd you do?
We put up the Christmas tree.
You're not the only one who's done that.
My
has said
Christmas
that.
tree's already
Yeah.
up.
are you serious?
Hey,
serious.
You haven't beat Walmart.
I've got. The
you ain't
Christmas
know
tree.
y'all got to. You seen the dude back here on the corner?
No.
Go out the back, like you're going over to Weekly Creek Road. He's got all of his inflatables up.
Oh, really?
Now there was a place just across from Coleman Church when you go on the square. They used to always put their Christmas stuff up like months early. I
Well,
don't
you
know
got
if
to
they
get your money's worth out of that stuff.
I
Well,
agree.
it's almost November.
Almost, yeah.
It's going to be November tomorrow.
Yeah, I just don't like the fact that we skip Thanksgiving. That,
I'm not skipping Thanksgiving. Are you crazy?
we haven't yet.
I'm not skipping Thanksgiving.
Oh, goodness.
He's got a Thanksgiving tree up right now.
A Thanksgiving tree.
Yeah.
You got turkey legs hanging off of it. We're not going to make it, I can tell you.
Oh, my goodness.
So I've got some fun facts, election fun facts in front of you,
Well, all
things
righty
like
then.
that. And so Tuesday, the polls will be open in Lawrence County. The polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
And Wednesday, they'll be the same time.
Yeah. Oh, man, we're not going to get that going. I can't.
Hey, don't be scared. It's all right.
The problem is, I'm on the election commission. I can't even kid around about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Here's
I'm
the
not.
thing:
So-
the views and comments, views and comments heard on this program are not necessarily those of WDXE, its owners or management.
That's right. And I'm not representing the election commission here either.
No, you're not.
But the polls will be open from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you work until 5, you got a couple hours after you work.
Yeah.
But I believe, is it federal law or your employer has to give you the opportunity to go vote, right?
Yeah. That's what I've always heard. You're on the commission. Is that not true?
I don't know. I don't know everything.
I've always heard that you can go vote.
If you're having trouble and your employer won't let, just call Keith. He'll come and bust the door down and break you out of there.
Well, I mean, if you own a business, if somebody's listening out there and you own a business, and do you get upset at your people if they go vote? I mean,
Surely
I don't know.
not.
Jeff, do you get upset at your folks when they go
Maybe it
vote?
depends on who they're voting for.
Not at all.
Well, I can't say that. So.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm sure that rule applies to Wednesday also. They get to let you go and vote since you're.
He ain't gonna let it go, buddy.
I'm not saying that.
He ain't gonna let it go.
You're very quiet over there. I don't.
Yeah. So I want to express one more thing about voting. I think it's probably one of the most important things as American citizens that we can do, and that we're granted by. I think it's an inalienable right of ours to vote, and so I take it very seriously. So,
I do too.
Yeah.
I wish more people did take it more seriously.
And I don't understand why people. I mean, I've talked to people this week who's registered, and they're saying, "I'm not going to vote."
Well,
Why would you do that? I mean,
I get that's your prerogative. If you
I
don't want
guess
to vote,
so, but
that's okay. But I don't know. I don't understand it. But I think it's important that folks like you and I teach our children how important it is to
Yeah.
vote. And so I'm going to read. If we've got any school board members listening or anything, I would suggest that at least on presidential elections, that school be out, and let children have the opportunity to come vote with their parents. And a lot of kids come during early voting. A lot of kids will come in with their parents and see how to vote and see how the process works. And it really is. Every vote counts. Don't go to the polls thinking your vote doesn't count, because it does. No matter who you vote for, your vote counts. And so
I remember going with my parents when they had the big voting machine.
oh yeah,
The one
you
that
had the big
curtain- you
lever.
had
The curtain and the big lever.
That was like a Wizard of Oz deal, wasn't it?
exactly. Do not pay attention to the man behind
And
the
I
curtain.
vaguely remember standing, and at some point, my mother let me go in with her
Yeah.
into the voting
The-
booth.
with the little levers and stuff.
Yeah, put switch the little levers.
Yeah. So how did you like the new electronic voting machines? They've been here for one election before, but how did you like the new ones?
They're better than the old ones.
Yeah. So what I like about them is when you're finished voting, it prints out who you voted for,
Okay.
so you can double check. That's my vote, and when you double check it, you hit the vote button, and that's it.
And it's right there, right there beside it.
That's right. Yeah. So I really like that.
Yeah, I do too.
And so,
Yeah.
but on the importance of it, our schools out here, and I said we're going to reach out to the school board members who may be listening. Our kids get out for just about everything. Or it's raining a lot, or the storm's coming, or something like that. And here recently, we had to move the polls away from the schools. I don't know if you've ever voted at a school, but I used to vote at Ingram South. But now my precinct is at First Baptist Church. And so in the county, they moved the polls away from the schools. And that was for safety. You don't know who's
Right,
coming in
yeah.
and voting and stuff like that. And you got so many people in and out.
Right.
And I understand that. But if you're going to let kids out of school for rain, why not schedule your parent-teacher day for the election day and give the kids the opportunity, let them know first off that it's such an important event that we're letting school out for it. And it's an opportunity for you to go with your parents to see how to vote.
And like I said, if you just done it just on presidential elections, it wouldn't be like
once every
all the
4
time.
years.
Yeah. So
That's a good idea.
Every leap year.
I'm not opposed to that.
you need to run for school board.
I need to
I'll
run
vote
for school board.
Yeah.
And I'd have to, I don't want to run for school board.
That's another job you need, ain't it?
You need one more thing to do.
Exactly. I need about 10 more things to do. So, have you guys planned not to go to Quik Mart the rest of the week?
Not to go?
Yeah.
Well, of course not.
Well, me too. I'm going to go as soon as I leave
Yeah.
here. I just wanted to make sure where you were.
You trying to trick
That's
me.
how we get paid.
That's like the government paying you not to raise hogs.
Talking about raising hogs.
Oh, one up me.
You remember when?
Here
Yeah,
we go.
no, I'm not going to one up
Oh.
you. You remember Andy Griffith Briscoe, darling, fell in love with Aunt B?
Oh, yes.
And she said, "Don't you raise your voice at the table." He said, "I'll raise my voice. I'll raise hogs. I'll raise whatever." Oh goodness. I loved watching that just for that one line. Well, we want to get some people involved in our discussion today on fun election facts, and these are centered around the presidency. You guys look through the list, you might see some things that may spark your interest. But I've got 6 things underlined here, or arrows pointing at, and there are going to be 6 questions that we ask our audience. And they can call in. If they get the answer right, then they become a qualifier.
Ooh, we're going to take real qualifiers this time.
Yeah,
So we answer questions.
Yeah, you got to answer questions, so you can't just call in and arbitrarily qualify. You have to call
Gotta
in.
work for it.
Got to work for
So
it.
Jeff, I'll let you ask the questions. Just don't say the answer that's underlined,
Okay,
but I'll
all
let you ask the questions.
Well, so we're going to we got 6 questions, and so he gets 6 correct answers. And if you get the correct answer, you're going to qualify for the giveaway, which is
a $25 gift card from Quik Mart convenience stores, and you can spend it at any Quik Mart store that you pass by in Southern Middle Tennessee, Northern Alabama, 39 locations.
all right. Question number 1.
Question number 1.
The phone number is 766-9393. And if you can answer this question, you will be our first qualifier.
All right. So
Who was the first president born in a hospital? Who was the first president born in a hospital? Good morning. How are you? Are you there?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Who was the first president born in a hospital?
I guess it's George Washington.
Oh,
No.
he was the first president, though,
He
but he
was the
wasn't
first
born in a
president,
hospital.
but not born in a hospital. Who was the first president born in a hospital? We'll try it again. 766-9393.
When did they get hospitals? Didn't they have hospitals back in the Civil War? I mean, didn't they take like soldiers to, or they just had them in people's houses, right?
Right, yeah. I don't know if it's a hospital.
We may be stumping everybody. Let's do this. Let me do another one.
Okay.
We do another question, and you can answer either one.
Okay.
You can answer either one. Who was the only president who did not represent a political party?
Ooh, I like that one.
Who did not? Which was the only president who did not represent a political party? And who was the first president born in a hospital? Either one of those. Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Jeff.
Hey,
Who is this?
Train man. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter was the first president born in a hospital. You
Can
are
you
right.
believe that?
Mr. Peanuts.
Right. And what name would you like you to put down, buddy?
Jerry Bronner.
Hey, Jerry. Jerry Bronner.
Oh, I'll write the names down too.
All right, you got the names? Okay, you write them down for me. Jerry Bronner has answered our Jim. Thank you, buddy.
See you, bud.
Ice cream man right there. Jerry Bronner is our first, and he answered Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was
So
the
that's
first.
weird. You would have thought
president
that
born
maybe
in a
John
hospital.
F. Kennedy would have been born in a hospital. You know, he was a young guy.
Wasn't his dad military too? Or?
I don't know. What we should have looked up is where were they born if they weren't born in a hospital?
Yeah.
I mean,
Barn or-
Abraham Lincoln was born in a log cabin, right? But it wasn't no hospital.
No, it wasn't a hospital.
All right, so we've got another question on the table.
Yeah.
And got another question on the table. Who was the only president who did not represent a political party? I'll put another one out there. Who was the tallest U.S. president?
Oh, that's a good one right there.
Who was the tallest U.S. president?
Somebody
was
I had
the,
somebody in common
He was
with.
6 feet 4 inches tall.
He was the center on the basketball team.
tallest.
Yeah, he was. I think he was.
He had a mean dunk.
Hey, good morning. You calling our trivia?
Yes, I am.
All right. Can you answer one of those questions?
I think the tallest president was Abraham Lincoln.
I think
Yes,
you're
yeah.
right.
Hey, absolutely right.
What name would you like me to put down?
Vicky Garner.
Vicky.
He was the starting center on the White House basketball team.
All right, Vicky. Thank you for playing with us.
He could dunk.
Thanks.
All right. We've still got a question on the table.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
It's me again. Can you qualify twice?
No.
Well,
I know the answer.
you know the answer?
I do.
You have to hold it.
Just hold on.
If somebody don't get it, you can answer, but you have to call back.
All right.
Okay.
Stay with us, Jerry.
All right, stay with us, Jerry.
We're going. They've got time to look it up.
Oh, yeah. Google is her friend.
And good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Fine. I think it's George Washington.
Yes. George Washington was the only president who did not represent a political party.
In fact,
that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What names likes to put down, huh?
It's me again, Gloria Keener.
Gloria.
Gloria. Gloria. We love when she calls in.
Thank you, Gloria. Very good. Well, I got to find another question.
I thought it was she was going to say it's me again, Margaret. All right, so when we're talking about George Washington, I thought there was a couple things in here that was said about George Washington. Well, we'll get to the next question because I got it as a question.
Yeah, you don't want to do that yet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's. This ain't a question, but I want to ask you guys: what are the 3 requirements to be in President of the United States? Obviously, you don't have to be too smart.
No, yes, you don't.
Well, I know.
So, okay, I'm going to take out one of the questions. It appears that these days you got to be a multi-millionaire to be president, and I hate that the appearance of that is that way because any Joe Blow, which I fall in that category, Joe Blow can be president as long as they meet these 3 criteria.
I see what you're doing. You're announcing your.
I'm not announcing my presidency, candidacy for president at all. But I just want to say, I just hate the fact that politics has got into it so much that it costs millions millions and millions of dollars to run for president. I don't think that's right.
You buy your way in.
Let me just say this. I think I could do it.
You just
Well,
need
I know
money.
you could do it.
I think I could be president.
I know you could do it.
I think I could be president.
I know you could, Jeff. I'd vote for you.
For heaven's sake.
I'd like to be president for a day,
Yeah.
and that'd be it. If you was president for a day, what would you do? But I think it was Thomas Jefferson. Since George Washington wasn't of any political party at all,
Right.
Thomas Jefferson said that political parties would be the downfall of America, and I really believe. Maybe he didn't say that verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing that. But.
There's. I don't need to say what I was about to say.
Yeah. So what's the 3 things you got to have or be?
Okay, so to be president, you got to be at least 35 years old. I don't know if there's some significance to that age or what, but you got to be at least 35 years old. You have to at least have lived in the United States for 14 years.
Okay.
And you must be a natural-born citizen. So I don't know. So you can. Natural-born citizen is a lot of different things. Like my brother, one of his boys was born in Turkey during a deployment. That doesn't mean he's not qualified to be president because he was on an active deployment, And so, but he still is eligible. He's considered a natural-born citizen. So there's some exceptions to the rules there, and it has to do with those kinds of things.
Okay.
I guess you can always be born on the embassy somewhere, and
On the dirt.
that was one of the coolest things. I went to Moscow, and and it's an okay place. It's a big city like New York,
Yeah.
And but what was neat was you got this feel that you're in a different country, a different world, and we had to go to the embassy one day, and so we went to the embassy in Moscow, and it was almost refreshing because when you're on a U.S. embassy, you're on U.S. soil. So it was really cool and I don't know, it's just this feeling of calmness that comes over you that, well, I'm on U.S. soil. And I don't know why, you just got to experience it. It's the weirdest thing. Because we were uptight. When we were in Moscow, we were uptight the
I
whole
don't blame
time.
you. Yeah, I mean, the way the world is
I
anymore.
would be uptight.
Yeah.
Well, we carried a suitcase full of snacks. And we lived in a hotel room and ate snacks so long. And I could look down the street. I'm looking out the window over Moscow. And way down there, believe it or not, I can see the Golden Arches. I can see the McDonald's.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, today I'm going to McDonald's. Might not make it back, but I'm going to McDonald's.
Many years ago, there was a comedian I was listening to. He had been to Russia, Moscow, somewhere.
Yeah.
And of course, they evidently they had food. They had to distribute food wherever he was.
Yeah.
And wasn't in the United States. He was talking about being this place. And he said he was there. First time he'd ever been there, and he said there was a big long line of people there. And he's asked somebody, he said, "What's this? What are these people in line for?" They said, "Oh, that's the bread line."
Really?
He says, "That's the bread line." He goes, "Must be some good bread."
Oh, my gosh. That's good. That is good.
That's some of the best bread ever.
We'll take another qualifier.
Yeah, we'll
buddy?
take another qualifier.
Let's take another. This somebody ought to jump right all over this one. This was the only president ever elected unanimously.
Wow.
This president was elected unanimously.
Yeah.
766-9393.
There was a lot of things going on in the world.
That ought to be easy right there. 766-9393.
A lot of things going on in the world back then.
Who was the only president ever elected unanimously?
There was almost two. But
And good morning. Are you playing with us?
Yeah, was it George Washington?
Yes, it
it was.
was.
That's got to be Tommy Davis.
Tommy.
You're right.
Tommy Davis. We got you, buddy.
Thank you.
And you
We
know,
got some people that
you know
jump
why
right on
he
this.
was elected unanimously?
Yeah, because
He blew his entire campaign budget on 160 gallons of liquor to serve to potential voters.
now how much? Reckon how much 160 gallons of liquor was back in those days?
Oh, me.
I bet it wasn't the millions and millions
Yeah,
that they
no.
spend on
It was
elections
still
these days.
160 gallons.
Yeah.
I think he might. Did everybody just get like half a shot?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
He didn't get it.
He didn't get it.
It's over my head.
Yeah.
What?
He said,
How
how
much?
much is 160 gallons? It was still 160
still 160.
gallons.
No, I mean how much it cost. I get it now. So
hey.
George Washington was the only president ever elected unanimously because James Monroe would have been elected unanimously, but a New Hampshire delegate wanted George Washington to be the only one to ever do that, so he voted against him.
Really?
Yes.
That's just petty right
That's
there.
petty right there. But the next question is going to be the hardest question we have,
It is.
and
It is. I've never heard this. So you have to get your study cap on or get your Google out.
Yeah,
one or the
get
other.
your Google out.
Who was the first?
it's not gonna be
who
who
was
you
the
think it
first
is.
woman? Who was the first woman to run for president? This happened in the 1800s, by the way.
oh yeah,
Who was the first woman to ever run for president?
and she might have sewn flags for a living. But I don't know that.
But that's not going to
That
help.
might be
anybody.
misleading.
It's very misleading.
That's gonna throw everybody for a loop because it's not the one you think of.
No.
It's as bad as your
Who was this woman ran for president in the 1800s? 766-9393 is the number. Somebody's
Let's see
calling.
if I threw anybody off.
And good morning.
yeah.
How are you?
Was it Francis Scott Key?
Oh, no.
That's a good guess,
Yeah,
but
it is.
no, it
Now,
wasn't her.
okay, so I was under the impression that Francis Scott Key was a guy. Was Francis Scott Key a woman?
I don't think so.
I don't know. I have to look. I'm
It's
fixing to
Francis.
Google that.
It could go either way with
I'm fixing to
Francis.
Google it.
First woman to run for president in 1872.
Hey, good morning. You calling to answer our question?
Try
Who was it?
Victoria Woodhull.
That's exactly right.
Wow.
Victoria
Yeah.
Woodhull.
Back of my head somewhere.
Yes. What name would you like me to put down?
Jeff Kinslow.
Jeff
Kinslow.
In the back of his head, he knew that. See?
Yeah.
Thank you,
Just
Jeff.
fell out.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, buddy.
So I Googled Francis Scott Key, and it's got a picture of a dude.
Yeah, he's
So-
a guy.
Well,
Okay.
what's his pronouns?
I don't know. He was a lawyer, an author, and a poet.
Of course, he was a poet.
Well, there was,
Those people are-
there was Francis the Talking Mule movies, too. You remember those?
No, I don't remember those.
Hey, Big Tip, what you doing, buddy?
What's up?
We just playing like we got good sense.
That was Ricky Woodall's aunt that lived over on lived there on First Avenue and First Street.
Is she the one that made is she the one that made them fried pies?
She come through here on they were in a covered wagon. They said, on their campaign trail and all.
Oh, good.
She was a nice lady there. She had a lot of good views and all.
I'm so glad you cleared that up for us.
Yeah, she was kind of, kin to a lot of people here in Lawrenceburg for sure.
How many votes did she get? Do you know?
She got 721.
Oh, okay, good deal.
A lot of people didn't get out because it was storming that day. The weather was bad.
You're not gonna catch him. I'm gonna tell you.
But they think there was some boat. They didn't know burn up none in the mail or nothing. But I think the Pony Express, a horse broke a leg too, so they didn't get a lot of the votes in.
Well, Tip, I got a question for you. I got a question for you right quick.
All right.
Are you loaded up on candy? Because I'm gonna come to your house.
Yes, sir. And it looks like I've eaten most of it already.
Thank you, buddy.
I got all kind of candy.
Thank you, man.
See ya.
Oh, man.
Good deal.
I was trying to Google how many votes she got.
He told you.
But
It was his neighbor.
What'd he say?
721.
721. I'm gonna write that down because
She was a nice lady.
he's a smart dude. So, but Hillary Clinton was the first woman to be nominated by a major party.
Yes.
And that happened in 2016.
Yes.
Yeah, that's probably who I would have thought.
Yeah, that's what Thomas Jefferson meant when. Anyway.
Okay.
So.
So this is a historic election, and not just because of who's running, but both candidates have the opportunity to make history, and Donald Trump has a chance to repeat history one time. And so if Kamala wins, or Kamala, I believe is the way she says her name, if she wins, she'll be the first woman president. And if Donald wins, he'll be the only second president since Grover Cleveland to have won an election, lost a successive election, and then won another election.
Yeah.
So that's actually happened once before in history.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We need one more, don't we?
Yeah, we need
One more qualifier.
Well, this one's a little bit of a challenge.
This is
a little bit of a challenge. Who was the first natural-born American to become president? Ooh. This happened in the 1800s too.
Wow.
The first natural-born American to become president. If you think about it, the previous presidents before this president were born as British subjects.
Ooh.
They were born as British subjects, and then, of course, we became a country and had presidents.
So, during the Revolution, that was a high act of treason by these guys who were fighting for America.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was unbelievable. So
absolutely. So this would be the first natural-born American to become president. Each of the previous presidents were born British subjects. Wow. That's an interesting fact.
Hail to the Queen.
766-9393 is the number.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Do you not remember your schoolhouse rock?
I don't remember anything across the pond.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Okay.
Who was this?
Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren. Dead on. That's
Yeah.
perfect. That's exactly right. What name would you like me to put down?
Sam McFall.
Sam McFall. All right.
We may have the most
Thank you.
Hey,
smartest
did you
listening
vote for
audience.
him, by the way?
Yes, sir.
There you go. Thank you, man.
He became president in 1837.
1837.
Yeah.
Martin Van Buren, the
Eighth
first
president of the United
American.
States.
How about that? That's interesting.
Yeah,
Because I wouldn't thought about that. But
No.
yeah.
So now you have to be a natural-born citizen. So
Yeah.
and he was the first one to meet that criteria. So there's a lot of good stuff on here that, as far as timelines go. But do you know why it's always the presidential election day is always the first Tuesday following the first Monday in November? That means it can't be, if Tuesday's the first day of November, it's not the election day.
It's got to be the following Monday, right?
Yeah, it's got to be the Tuesday following the first Monday is the election day. And you know why that is?
Why is that?
It's because, so unlike us, you were kidding about this a few minutes ago. Our election takes place in one day. We have the means to have an election in one day. Well, way back when, elections took about a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because folks had to get in their horse and buggies and sometimes go across town or across different place to vote.
Yeah.
And so they give them plenty of time to do that. And so anyway, that they did it on Tuesday, the first Tuesday in November, following the first Monday, because it was after harvest. Most of the United States,
Well, that would make sense.
were farmers. Most of the folks in the United States were farmers back then. And so they gave them time to finish the harvest. And it was also early enough where the freezing weather wouldn't prohibit people traveling to the polls. And so I thought that's pretty cool that they picked that day. And we've stuck with it all this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty neat.
I was reading number 7 here you've got on
Okay,
this. It wasn't until 1856 that Congress removed property ownership as a requirement to vote in elections.
Yeah, so you used to have to own property.
You used to have to own property to vote.
So if you was renting, you
Which
couldn't
brings
vote.
me, which brings me to say something almost controversial.
Okay, say it.
You have to qualify at least as a citizen to vote. That's supposed to be the way, right?
Right.
What if you had to qualify in other ways?
Like what?
Such as, and here's the reason I say this, such as being able to actually name the current president and the vice president, or name who the governor is.
Oh, man.
Pass a little bit of a test before you actually vote. Because I'm amazed at people that go on these interviews on college campuses, on a college campus,
what he's
and
talking
ask a voting age kid, can you name the vice president? And they can't do it.
Listen, I agree with that.
And they're able to go vote. I'm like, well, that to me is, I'm not saying they shouldn't have the right to vote, but I'm saying if you're going to vote, at least know something about your civics, know something about your government. I mean, if you walk on a college campus and anywhere and ask them who their governor is, they may not be able to tell you.
Yeah, do you know who our governor is?
I mean, that.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So I guess.
Yeah. So, but here, you bring up a good subject there, because to become a citizen of the United States the legal way, you have to take a test like that. You've got to learn some stuff about the United States to become a citizen, and you can get, like you say, you can go to any campus across the United States and find people who were born here that have no clue.
Yeah. They couldn't name you the 3 branches of government.
Right.
They couldn't do it.
Yeah. Have you seen I think it was Jimmy Kimmel, somebody who would man on the street and they would ask, they just make up names to say, how do you feel about their politics on this? And these people would just start talking like they knew exactly what they was talking about.
Yeah. And they vote.
And these people vote.
And they vote. Mm-hmm. And see, that bothers me.
It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you? Mm-mm. Well, why doesn't it?
Because I believe in a government of the people and for the people, and I believe in everybody, regardless of what they know. I believe in their right to walk in and vote, even if they're voting against who I'm voting for.
Even if they're dumb as a rock.
Even if they're dumb as a rock.
That's the ones who vote early and vote often.
Listen, I wouldn't stop them from voting. What I'm saying is I wish they were more responsible about.
So, are you saying that the voters of America are garbage?
What I'm saying is I wish that the voters were more educated.
Where did you get garbage from?
I wish that our voters,
he just said that.
our young people were more educated about our government. And I wish that was more. I wish it was that way.
So when I was in, we had civics in high school. I don't even know if they teach civics anymore.
I don't know.
But Colonel Maddox taught civics.
Yeah.
And Colonel Maddox was...
he would have been good at it.
Oh, let me tell you. Do you remember him?
Oh, yes, I do.
Lovick Vernon Maddox.
Listen, you could see yourself in his shoes.
Oh, yes. You better believe it. But he had you could goof off in his class. You could sleep in his class as long as you weren't bothering the person next to you. Yeah. But he would pass you if you were 18 and went and registered to vote. And so, I mean, that's how strongly he felt about voting.
Sure.
So
did you get a lot of sleep in there?
No, we had a good time in Colonel Maddox's class. We had like a mock trial and everything. He taught us how the judicial system works and all this kind of stuff. We had a great time. He was a great teacher too, and he was I guess he was a bomber pilot back in Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
And I think he said the one thing he regrets doing is he flew over Hanoi while Jane Fonda was there.
And he didn't drop the bomb.
Could have pulled the trigger.
He could have, yeah. He was inches away from, but, I don't know. That was his words, not my words. So there was other things in here. Somebody's.
He wasn't the only
we
Vietnam
got,
veteran. It
we
felt
got
like
somebody that's going to contribute to the
There we go.
conversation. How are you?
Something you might check on about that first question about Jimmy Carter is look at the year he was born. I vaguely remember back in Lawrenceburg even they called the hospital a sanatorium back in the 60s, but I could be wrong about the dates. But if you go back very far, and I think Jimmy Carter grew up on a peanut farm or something, just transportation. But I just thought that was kind of an interesting question because it does sound like, well, he's so modern. He was elected, I think, in 1968. But if you look at his age, it may take you back because I did some research on Dr. Malloy and Dr. Crowder. I grew up on Waterloo Street. And back when they came here, like in the 50s, I think it was, or early 50s, or maybe late 40s, even doctors could have an office in their home, although Dr. Malloy didn't. But it's just fascinating when you look at the timelines as to why something happens.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
So I can tell you, Jimmy Carter's 100 years old.
Yeah.
So he was born in 1924.
Right.
And
I think he was elected 76, wasn't he?
as president.
Yes.
President.
Yeah.
But he had held other offices.
He did.
So I've read several of Jimmy Carter's books, and if we'll talk, we won't get in deep on the subject of election fraud, but Jimmy Carter can vouch for election fraud. So Jimmy Carter ran for Senate in the state of Georgia, and his first election, he got beat. And the reason he got beat is because one of the poll workers there stuffed the ballot box, and he proved that. And so they had a election after that. They had to have another election to clear up the cheating election, and he won that one. But one of the ways he proved that is at the precinct where this fellow worked, the precinct that he worked. This is back when you voted on paper and stuffed the ballot boxes. Yeah. So 126 people voted alphabetically. Now, what's the chances of that happening? And he also had eyewitnesses of the guy pulling out ballots from the box that I guess didn't vote for, that maybe voted for Jimmy. The guy was pulling the ballots out of the box.
My goodness.
So anyway, there was election fraud. It's been going on for a long time. So, when somebody says, hey, there's election fraud, I don't think there is any in Lawrence County. We do it electronically, and I'm an electronic guy, and there's no way. And the way it's done here is that you have folks that work the polls who represent both parties.
Yes.
And so you have each party looking over each other's shoulder, and then even the technicians that pick up the boxes and bring them back to the election commission office. One represents the Republican Party, one represents the Democratic Party, and so they're always together. And but the boxes they hold the paper stuff, but the election is counted on.
Paper's a backup, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's a card that they bring, and the poll workers bring the cards in, and so and then they're read at the office.
Just a quick question on that. Yeah. I mean, it's counted electronically using the computer.
That's right.
But then do they follow up by verifying with the paper later?
Yeah, if there's reason to do so, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there's got to be reason to do so.
Okay.
Now the absentee voting is by paper.
Yes.
And so there is a counting team that comes in, and they're also evenly split, and they will count the paper ballots.
Do you have a lot of absentees anymore since you have early voting for so long?
There's several. Yeah.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah. Military folks on active deployment will vote by paper and mail it in and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's several folks like that.
Okay.
So
cool.
especially throughout the county, So it looks like you're digging on something over, Jeff.
Well, I found an interesting one. I found an interesting one to me. This one's interesting. Ulysses S. Grant.
Okay, I know him.
Ulysses S. He was the 18th president of the United States.
Then why they have him on a $50 bill?
Well, we don't have an $18 bill.
That's right.
That's right. The 18th president of the United States, Ulysses S. Grant, listen to this, was given a $20 speeding ticket for riding his horse and buggy too fast down a street in Washington, D.C.
Oops. Wow.
Can you imagine that Barney Fife
Hey, listen.
Giving the president.
Now,
a
I have
speeding
seen
ticket.
some Amish people here that's had it in full gear. If their horse had to stop, it'd probably slide, 100 feet or so. Have you ever seen some of those young Amish guys will absolutely fly their buggies down the road, which is okay, especially if you're behind them.
I watched a really good documentary, I guess, about Ulysses S. Grant from start to finish, and he was an interesting character, very interesting.
So I don't know much about him.
Oh my gosh, he's pretty good. He come from humble beginnings. He never was, he did not come from the silver spoon.
Yeah.
And he was kind of a early life failure. I think he drank a lot, and then he went through the Civil War, of course, and became general, and led the Northern troops. Actually, and of course, the Battle of Shiloh. If you hadn't studied that, you need to.
Yeah,
it's amazing what. And he was told to leave. He ended up, the first day, the South kind of won. And
you're talking at Shiloh?
At Shiloh.
Yeah.
The first day, the battle was kind of won by the South, more or less. And they were telling the general to back up. And he said, no, we're not backing up. And he was that kind of guy. And, of course, turned it back the other way. And the sad thing about Shiloh is that there were so many lives lost, but it really didn't change anything at that point.
You're right.
At that point in the war, it didn't change much.
You know what I like about Shiloh is it's probably on the most. I think it's on the prettiest part of the Tennessee River in that location. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, it's been a good day to talk about voting, and like I say, Tuesday.
Oh my gosh, is this hour already gone?
This hour's gone. So if you didn't get anything else out of today's show, go vote. If you
Go
haven't
vote.
voted. So.
It's done too late to register to vote, right?
It is, yeah.
Senior deadlines.
Yeah, the registration deadline to vote in this election was October the 7th, so that's too late to vote.
You get registered for the next
but it's
time.
not too late to vote.
Do you want to make predictions on the presidential election before we go? Because next time it'll be over.
I can't.
Well,
no, you can't.
I can't make predictions or
you
anything
can't
like
because
that,
of the position you're
That's
in.
correct.
I'll let you do it then.
me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, it's going to be hard to do because the prior election that happened the way it happened, I mean.
Now you're digging into the weeds.
Well, you want me to dig into the dirt?
Let yesterday be gone. Let today be today.
I say, from what I've seen trending.
Oh, we got to roll, don't we?
Yeah.
We do.
We forgot that.
I say it's going to be Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, it's looking favorable.
For what they're trending on it's going to be.
Okay.
His numbers are looking favorable, but you never know.
Kamala, it just depends on how many show up Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah, when they vote Wednesday, you get the free donuts.
Hey,
Oh,
you want to roll the dice?
I get to roll.
All right, so number one is
Jerry Bronner.
Jerry Bronner. Number two is Gloria Keener. Number three is Vicki Garner. Number four is Tommy Davis. Number five is Jeff Kinslow. And number six is Sam McFall. You're playing for a $25 gift card. Kevin, roll the dice. It's a number three, Vicki Garner.
Vicki, all right.
Is our winner. Vicki, congratulations. You win a $25 gift card from Quik Mart convenience stores, and it spends just like cash inside the store. And what I would recommend is getting premium fuel at the giving pump.
I don't
That'd
know.
be awesome.
I kind of like the food myself, and you get 5 days worth of food out of that
You can.
for the combos you got, right?
You can. Absolutely.
You always got to be getting the gas.
Always got to be getting the gas. School's out.
I got a bell for the right answer, and I forgot to use it.
Oh, I thought you were just doing that to get me to shut up.
You know, I got a bell, and I had something queued up for the wrong answer. Hang on a second. See if it works for me.
I hope it's my sound.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, so much for that.
That ain't gonna work.
Well,
I wanted that. I wanted to find that.
yeah.
You know. That's it. That's it. That's the Price is Right.
Yeah.
We gotta find that. I'm gonna find that and put it on the hot button over here. So we can
I
use
watched
it.
this. I watched Vegas Matt, and they run out of money all the time on the slot machines. When you don't have enough money to make the next spin, it makes a cowbell sound. That's the cowbell poverty. Is what it's called.
Well, remind everybody who sponsors the hour, and we got to get out of here.
Quik Mart Convenience Store sponsors this hour of silliness, and we'll be back next week and to do more. And maybe I won't be in such a hurry next time. I'll bring some coffee and some biscuits And so,
Get
Gloria,
listen.
don't come to the radio station right now. I've got to get that card and bring it back.
Yeah,
Of course.
no, it's who did you give it to?
Gloria Keener, right?
No.
Who was it?
No.
Vicky Garner.
Vicky.
Did you read it wrong?
I did read it. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Number 3?
Number 3. Did number 3 win?
Yes, number 3 was the
Number 3 was a number.
I don't have nothing written down for number 3.
Well, here's what you
Hang on a minute.
Here's what you need to do.
Vicky Garner. I said Vicky Garner.
You did say Vicky Garner, but I
But
want
you're trying to give it to Gloria.
I'm sorry, Gloria. You're not the winner. Vicky was.
Okay.
Vicky Garner was.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well,
Did I say Gloria first?
No.
Wait a minute. And you're in charge of the election commission?
Vicky Garner.
But listen, I'm as
You
confused.
said Vicky.
I'm as confused as a termite and yo-yo here. We're going to take a little extra time to fix this. We got to fix this.
Okay, fix it.
Because when I wrote these names down, and I was writing them down accurately.
Yeah.
Vicky Garner's number 2, and Gloria was number 3.
So
Hang on just
look
a
at
second.
this. I did it like that.
Hang on just a second. Hey, good morning. How are you?
Hi, this is Vicky Garner, and I was number 3.
That's
See?
what I thought.
That's what I got.
Yes.
You were number 3?
Yes,
See, you
I
had it
was.
backwards and I had it right.
I had it backwards. Okay. We're good. Thank you.
All right.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
we
Vicky.
sorted that out.
I can't believe I got that wrong.
Oh, my goodness. I'm right for one time.
Can you believe it?
So, Vicky, give me a few minutes. I'll bring it back up here to the
We
radio
are going to
station.
join our program already in progress and get out of here.
Yay.
See you guys.
Play some news about the election.
And afraid of each other.
Nearly 59 million Americans have already voted early. Fox News polls show the race is a tie in Pennsylvania. Trump's up by 2 points in North Carolina. Harris up by 2 in Michigan. We got an inflation update this morning showing a slight decline in the annual rate of increase of what are called personal consumption expenditures, down to